All right, today's question is from a man who was recently discovered, or he has recently discovered, that his wife, as she says, is having an emotional affair with a coworker, and he is feeling a little bit like, is it just an emotional affair? Is it really over? I don't know how to proceed because his mind is racing. He doesn't know how to stop his thoughts. And he's getting angry at his wife, so much so that he's like, I don't even want to be around her because when I'm around her, I just want to yell at her. Now, this is something that's very important because he's asking the question, how do I find out if it's just an emotional affair? So inside of him, he's got a lot of questions. He's torn up inside, and he doesn't know how to respond to his wife. So first of all, thank you for asking this important question. We don't get a lot of questions from men who have been betrayed, and so this is a very important one. Just because we want to understand more of what it's like for men as they go through different versions of betrayal. In this specific case, some things that I would like to offer to you. First of all, your wife says that it's just an emotional affair. I think your mind probably has more questions. What does that mean, an emotional affair? So we probably ought to figure out, what does that mean? And the next part of that is, you're probably saying, what about holding hands, kissing, other sexual behaviors? Did those occur? Your wife sounds like she's saying that did not occur. It sounds like you don't believe her, that there's more. Now, sometimes individuals in this type of a situation will continue talking about the details, ask for more information, how the relationship is going to, that affair or emotional affair is going to stop. But if they continue to have concerns, some individuals will do what's called a eye detect or a polygraph. These are two ways for you to identify specifically whether you're being told the truth. Now, some people don't recommend that. For me personally, I have found that it's helpful for individuals and couples who are struggling to move on. The eye detect is a way just to determine whether it's true. Same with a polygraph. Now, again, that's just an option for you. You don't have to do that. But if you're struggling to move forward and your wife is willing to do so, in this situation, it may be something to consider. The other thing is she still working with the coworker? I'm going to assume that if she is, that's really hard for you while she's at work to trust her. So is there a chance that there will be a change in her job, or the emotional affair partner, is he willing to change his job? Now, these are sacrifices that people make if they're wanting to sustain their current relationship. So I guess part of the question is your partner willing to make changes so that she's no longer in that environment? Now, these are things that you and her will probably need to discuss. But what I'm not addressing is what it's done to you, what you're feeling inside. And so I invite you to consider the following common symptoms when people have experienced some form of betrayal. Their mind is racing. It's hard to slow down. Often individuals start to feel maybe an inadequacy, like, am I not enough? Why do you need to get that support elsewhere? The other part of it is they start avoiding people, places, or situations where they used to feel comfortable. And so in this situation, I would invite you to look, are you experiencing those symptoms? Are you having dreams, nightmares, or triggers? Are you being triggered by different things? These are some of the common post-traumatic stress symptoms of what happens when we feel some kind of trauma, some kind of discontent with what's happening. And if that's happening to you, just recognize that those are what we call post-traumatic stress symptoms, and we need to address them, or you're going to need to address them as you heal. As you heal. Okay? So I invite you to think through what you're experiencing, and how do you communicate with your wife? Is your wife trying to be there for you? Is she open to your questions? And are you guys having meaningful conversations? If you are, I encourage you, and I encourage all people, to communicate your hurt, not your anger. Let me say that again. Communicate your hurt, not your anger. Because it's easy to get angry. It's easy to yell, but that doesn't solve the problem. In fact, if anything, it makes your partner want to pull back more. If you want to save the relationship, communicate about the hurt. Talk about the plan moving forward. Your partner may be embarrassed or ashamed of their behavior. they need to talk about what they are experiencing. They need to be open, and they need to figure out how they're going to avoid doing whatever that was that they did in the emotional engagement so it doesn't happen again. So you're going to want to know what's the plan moving forward, but make sure that you listen and understand, how can we avoid this in the future? What's the strategy? What's our plan? And again, if there are questions about complete truthfulness, you might consider the eye detect or a polygraph, and you can look that up online in your area. All right, thank you for asking your question. I hope this is helpful to give you some ideas on what you and your partner can do as you go through this process. Thank you very much.